Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Ballava Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Ballava Girivaradhari Yasoda Nandana Braja Janaranjana Yasoda Nandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Ballava Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Ballava Girivaradhari Yasoda Nandana Braja Janaranjana Yasoda Nandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jayam Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivakacharya Srimad His Divine Grace Sri Lesa Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Jayam Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivakacharya Astadada Srimad His Divine Grace Srila Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Srila Gopishadas Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai Srila Thakur Bhakti Vinod Ki Jai Oh Shri Vrindavan Dhama Ki Jai Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is Ki Jai All glories to assembled devotees All glories to assembled devotees All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga Go Premananda Hari Hari Bol Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya All together, please. Om Jnana Timirandasya Ganandana Salakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yukta Padakamalang Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raganatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sarvetam Savadutam Prijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padang Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vidamscha He Krishna Karana Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapcha Kanchana Gaurange Radhe Brindavanishwari Vrishabhana Sudadevi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bevacha Patitanam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Thank you very much. Now, today is second verse, chapter 12. And the chapter is entitled Devotional Service, Bhakti Yoga. So, number 2, right? Please repeat. śrī-bhagavān uvāca āveśya mano nitya-yuktā upāsate śraddhayā parayopetās mayy yukta-tamā matāḥ śrī-bhagavān uvāca āveśya mano nitya-yuktā upāsate śraddhayā parayopetās mayy yukta-tamā matāḥ.
śrī-bhagavān uvāca nitya-yuktā upāsate parayopetās yukta-tamā matāḥ.
śrī-bhagavān uvāca
āveśya mano nitya-yuktā upāsate parayopetās mayy yukta-tamā matāḥ. āveśya mano nitya-yuktā upāsate parayopetās yukta-tamā matāḥ. śrī-bhagavān uvāca mano nitya-yuktā upāsate parayopetās śrī-bhagavān uvāca āveśya mano nitya-yuktā upāsate śraddhayā parayopetās mayy yukta-tamā matāḥ. śrī-bhagavān uvāca āveśya mano nitya-yuktā upāsate parayopetās mayy yukta-tamā. Okay, word for word, please repeat. śrī-bhagavān uvāca. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, Mayy, upon me, āveśya, fixing, manaḥ, the mind, yea, those who, mam, me, nitya, always, yuktāḥ, engaged, upāsate, worship, śraddhayā, with faith, parayā, transcendental, upetāḥ, endowed, te, they, may, by me, yukta-tamāḥ, most perfect in yoga, matāḥ, are considered. So English, the translation, Srila Prabhupada. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, those who fix their mind on my personal form and are always engaged in worshipping me with great and transcendental faith are considered by me to be most perfect. Please repeat. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, those who fix their minds on my personal form and are always engaged in worshipping me with great and transcendental faith are considered by me to be most perfect. So, purport Srila Prabhupada. In answer to Arjuna's question, Kṛṣṇa clearly says that he who concentrates upon his personal form and who worships him with faith and devotion is to be considered most perfect in yoga. For one in such Kṛṣṇa consciousness, there are no material activities, because everything is done for Kṛṣṇa. A pure devotee is constantly engaged. Sometimes he chants, sometimes he hears or reads books about Kṛṣṇa, or sometimes he cooks prasādam, or goes to the marketplace to purchase something for Kṛṣṇa, or sometimes he washes the temple or the dishes. Whatever he does not let a single moment pass without devoting his activities to Kṛṣṇa. Such action is in full samadhi. So, very nice. Mukam karochi vachalam bhangam laite girim yat kripa-tamaham vande Shri Guru Nacharinam śrī-bhagavān uvāca āveśya mano yeyam nitya-yuktā upāsate śraddhayā parayopetās mayy yukta-tamā matāḥ. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, those who fix their minds on my personal form and are always engaged in worshipping me with great and transcendental faith are considered by me to be most perfect. Yes, so Prabhupada starts in the purport in answer to Arjuna's question. So we'll review that. Arjuna inquired, which are considered to be more perfect, those who are always properly engaged in your devotional service, or those who worship the impersonal Brahman, the unmanifested. So we can even go a bit further back, a few slokas, because the transcendental universal form has just been withdrawn. You're all experienced devotees, right? And then Kṛṣṇa manifested his forearm form, that's his Narayan form, Aishwarya Bhav, and then he manifested his Goloka form, Gokula form, two-armed, which is very approachable, very attractive, beautiful. That is the form that Kṛṣṇa relates to all his intimate devotees, Radharani, Mother Yashoda, Nanda Maharaj, the cowherd boys, the Dasya Bhav. That is his friendly form. People forget, oh, is this Kṛṣṇa, the Supreme Lord? I don't know. For me, he is the local darling of Vrindavan. He is the local hero. Sometimes the demigods say, oh, Bhagavan, but he's the son of Nanda Maharaj. Who is this Bhagavan? Let them talk. This is our Kṛṣṇa. And we know that Lalita Shaki has him under control. He's scared of Lalita Shaki because then he's very nervous about talking to Radharani. And he keeps it very secret about Chandravali. Sometimes he sees, no, I didn't see Chandravali. Oh, no, Lalita Shaki, don't tell Radharani that. That is just a rumor put around by my cowherd boyfriends. Everybody knows Radharani is the boss. So, that is two-handed form. You cannot talk to Narayan like that. He'll say, who are you? Go to Goloka. So, the two-arm form is for the most intimate and beautiful and attractive pastimes of Kṛṣṇa. So after the universal form, which is the expanded form of Paramatma, we know from Bhagavatam, yat-tattva, those that know the absolute truth know that it has three aspects. They are all one, but there is Brahman. Sometimes Srila Bhakti Siddhanta put forward that word, Brahman. Actually, it is Brahmajyoti. It is the bodily effulgence of Kṛṣṇa. Then there is Krishna's Paramatma form, by which he supervises the material energy. And the expanded form of that is the Virat Rupa, Virat Purusha. It is Kṛṣṇa entering into the material elements to maintain their potencies and supervising the activities of the living entities in the material world. So that is Virat Rupa, Virat Purusha, sometimes said like that. And then there is Bhagavan above that. And like we say, there is the Narayan form in Hridam, and that is the Aishwarya Bhav. He's served very respectfully by Lakshmi Devi before all the devotees completely free of any matsarya. Oh, Narayan! Nara-arayan means the shelter of all souls. They love in that mood of Aishwarya. You are the Supreme Lord. You are so wonderful. You are my shelter. You are the object of my love. Aishwarya Bhav. But in Goloka, it's even more. So Mahaprabhu, he specifically emphasized, that's why he's the most merciful incarnation, the Goloka pastimes. The Goloka pastimes, where Kṛṣṇa is standing on the bank of the Jamuna in the moonlight, playing the flute. The Astashakis are there, Radharani. Everything is quiet. The Jamuna goes quiet so that she can hear the flute song. So that is the most intimate aspect of Godhead. And Mahaprabhu, of course, through Goswamis, he put that before. So he's the most merciful. Krishna prema pradayate. He's giving love of that highest form in this Kali. What is it? Kale dosha nide rajan. In Kali Yuga, so much problems are there. But even in this time, Mahaprabhu, just by being pure in your life, friendly to all living entities, and chanting Hare Krishna, bhajatam pritipurvakam, with loving attitude, then Krishna will reciprocate with loving attitude to you, and then you'll go to Golok Vrindavan. He will take everything careful, everything nice. Nityananda Shakti, Baladev Shakti, they will do all arrangement. We just do the bhajan. So at the beginning we're doing bhajan. We're doing upāsana. That's worship, like it is worship. Those that worship my personal form. So the sadhaka is engaged in worship. So there is an element of Aishwarya in that. We realize, oh, this is the Supreme Lord, so I must purify myself, I must perform worship, very mam namaskaru, as Krishna says, right? You must approach with a certain awe and reverence. And then Krishna, it evokes his merciful nature. And then he gives you all blessing to realize. And then Siddha Bhakta, he is worshipping in prem, spontaneous love. The Swarup is manifest. Nitya Siddha Krishna Prem Sadhakavanai Shravanadi Sudha Chitte Karide Udai. So Nitya's prem is within the soul. It is component of the soul. Just like Krishna, his nature, his Swarup, is loving. His loving nature for all living entities. So the soul has that prem there in seed form. Just like every seed has a tree. So Rupa Goswami uses the example of the Bhakti Lata Bij. It grows. It grows through the material universe, goes through the Brahman, and it bears fruit at the lotus feet of Krishna. That fruit is prem. So Krishna, the Lord Chaitanya, Nityananda, Sad Goswami, they are expounding on all this. And to hear the name, form, quality and pastimes, Shravanadi Sudatitte. Shravan Adi. Shravan means Shravanam Kirtanam, starting with Shravanam, and then the other 8 processes of devotional service, they purify the soul. And then prem works up, step by step. Let me see. Yes. I was reading that this morning. At the end of the Brahma Samhita, Lord Krishna tells Lord Brahma 5 slokas. And in these 5 slokas, all the process of bhakti is there in seed form. So, yes. What does he say? Yes. This is the first of the 5. Pramanas tad sadacharais tadabhyasa nirantaran bodhayan atma atmanam bhaktim apiyutamam labet. Oh no, sorry, the one before. Prabhade gane bhaktibhyan atmani ananda chinmayi udyetu uttama bhaktiya bhagavat prema lakshana. So how to get that Krishna prem? You're all devotees. You want to get Krishna prem. When the pure spiritual experience is excited by means of, right? The spiritual experience is awoken by means of what? Cognition and service. Bhakti. Super excellent, unalloyed devotion characterized by love of God is awakened toward Krishna, the beloved of all souls. Right? So these are the 2 things that awaken the loving attitude. Right? You remember? Cognition, that means you must learn Siddhanta. You must learn Siddhanta Abhideya Prayojana from Guru. You must learn the 10 Dasamula, the main points of Vaishnava philosophy. You must have some good idea of the path. Mahajayena Kataso Pantha. We want to follow the path by the Mahajan. The first part is cognition. That means intellectually understanding. It is called in Sanskrit Aroha Siddhi. It means Aroha, you have understood through Buddhi Yogam, intelligence, the perfect state. So you know that is what I want to aim at. So cognition gives that. That means Shastragan. What is that in the beginning of Chaitanya? Siddhanta Bulya Jeev Bhagavan Chakori. That you should understand Siddhanta intellectually. And that will purify all your material misconceptions. The perfection of Siddhanta is Vasudeva Savamiti. Everything is Krishna. This microphone is his energy. I'm his energy. The whole universe is his energy. We have been educated in Kali Yuga way. Oh, it is just the Big Bang and so on and so forth. No, everything is the energy of Krishna. So that is perfection of Siddhanta. When that is there, Sa Mahatma Sudurlabha, then Prem Bhav, raganuga attraction comes. So it's very good that we come together and study the Shastra, because then that strengthens our siddhanta, and we see Kṛṣṇa through purified consciousness. So, cognition and, what was it? What was the second one? Service. That means, just like this morning, one devotee, he said to me, "Oh, I'm chanting, but I'm not getting enjoyment." I said, seva bhav. Don't chant thinking I want to enjoy. Chant thinking, this is my yajna. This is my offering to Kṛṣṇa. Manmana bhavabhat bhakto majaji mam namaskaru. That we want to offer yajna to Supreme Lord. So our chanting is yajna. It is an offering. In the material world, we try to enjoy, control and enjoy. This is our conditioned idea. We want to be Purusha, enjoyer. But no, devotee wants to be sevak. He wants to be service. So, bhajatam pritipurvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam. So, the devotee knows that through siddhanta, that I am rendering service with pritipurvakam, with personal mood. Kṛṣṇa says, yukta-tamā prapādi. I reciprocate. If we chant as with loving mood, pritipurvakam, priti means affection, loving affection. If we chant with that mood, then Kṛṣṇa reciprocates with pritipurvakam. You understand? If we chant impersonally, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, like a parrot. Oh no, maybe the parrot is better than that. But if we we try to think, oh Kṛṣṇa, how we can start with pritipurvakam. We think, oh, Kṛṣṇa, you are created me. You are my creator. You are my Supreme Father. You are maintaining me. And now you're educating me in spiritual knowledge. Thank you so much. Bhajatam pritipurvakam. Gratitude, right? We should think, oh, Prabhupada has written these books. We have such gratitude. Kṛṣṇa is giving the sun, he's giving the moon, he's giving fruits and flowers, he's giving sadhu sangha, but we think, oh. When like a child in the house, Mummy, where's my food? Daddy, I want new bicycle. They're not thinking the child, because they're immature, they have no gratitude. They're thinking, oh, they take it for granted. Oh, Mummy, why is dinner 5 minutes late? No, we have to have sense of gratitude to Guru, Sadhu and Shastra. This is the great gift. This is the ticket to eternal life. So, if we have sense of gratitude, then we can offer kindly what we have in our heart. Oh, Kṛṣṇa has been so kind. Just like in the material world, children grow up, then they love their parents. Oh, I remember now, I was just a small boy, a little selfish, running here and there, but now I understand how much they did for me. So then they think, oh, now my father's getting old, let me take care. My mother's getting old, let me take care. They have sense of gratitude. So we should have sense of gratitude to spiritual master, the sadhus, the parampara, all those things. And then we can chant with pritipurvakam. Not just thinking, oh, I'm in the temple, it's not bad here, prasad could be better. No, we should think, I'm very fortunate, and these things are coming to me by grace of Kṛṣṇa and the sadhus. And then we can have the beginning of pritipurvakam in the heart, some satisfaction. And then we will get reciprocation with priti. So this is very important. This is bhakti. So anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, so cognition and bhakti, service attitude, like I say, is, at the beginning, it's based on a sense of gratitude. We are created beings. Why? Because Kṛṣṇa created. Satya Sankalp. That is one description of Kṛṣṇa. Whatever Kṛṣṇa decides, that will become fact. Satya Sankalp. Whatever he decides, that becomes truth. He is param tattva. He is absolute truth. There's no restriction. He's completely independent. He's not controlled. In the material world, we're controlled by time, circumstance, karma, this and that. Kṛṣṇa is completely unrestricted. Satya Sankalp. And he has Kriya Shakti. Kriya Shakti means, let this devotee become a pure devotee. Then immediately everything is will happen to enact that. So we have to evoke the mercy of Kṛṣṇa. That is bhakti, that is sadhana. We cannot force Kṛṣṇa, but we can apply, oh Kṛṣṇa, please make me your devotee by your grace, by Guru's grace, by sadhu sangha. Then that is the right way, mam namaskuru, to approach Kṛṣṇa. Not think, when your devotees, but not immature devotee think, I deserve it. I chanted 16 rounds. I should go back to Godhead. No, we have to have vipralamba seva bhav, Kṛṣṇa. And then Kṛṣṇa think, oh, we touch the heart of Kṛṣṇa. And then everything is fine. So I'll make these two verses. By cognition and bhakti, super excellent, unalloyed devotion, characterized by love for Godhead, is awakened toward Kṛṣṇa, the beloved of all souls. And then the next one. Pramanas tad sadacharais tad abhyashya nirantaram bodhayan atma atmanam bhaktim api uttamam labet. The highest devotion, right? Because we want to go from upāsana, worshipping with aishwarya bhav, worshipping Kṛṣṇa as the Supreme Lord. We want to go to the highest, where we have swarup siddhi, where we're relating to Kṛṣṇa in the spiritual body. That is siddha bhakti. Sadhaka and then siddha, two classes of devotee. So how is the highest devotion attained? Is attained by slow degrees, by the method of constant endeavor for self-realization, constant endeavor, with the help of three things. Now listen carefully, because I'm going to test you. Scriptural evidence, theistic conduct, and perseverance in practice. Right? Constant endeavor. What's the first one? Scriptural evidence, pramana. That means cognition, knowledge from the... And then? Theistic conduct. That means you should live pure lifestyle. And you should be friendly to all living entities. And then? Perseverance in practice. Right? Three things. Number one, what? I'm cheating. Scriptural evidence, theistic conduct, becoming a good person, and then perseverance. And that's the highest devotions, by slow degrees. So today's sloka is about bhakti. So this is the basic summary of bhakti. So anyway, how did we get there? The Supreme Personality of Godhead. My dear Arjuna, this form of mind you are now seeing is very difficult to behold. This is the end of the previous chapter. Even the demigods are ever seeking the opportunity to see this form which is so dear. The form you are seeing with your transcendental eyes, remember, Arjuna was given divya, chakshus, so he could see the expanded form of Paramatma. the Virat Rupa, cannot be understood simply by studying the Vedas, nor by undergoing serious penances, nor by charity, nor by worship. Not by these things you can see me as I am. Huh? But I just said these things, cognition and bhakti, pramana, theistic conduct and perseverance. Only by undivided devotional service can I be understood as I am. Bhakti-mam abhijanati. By bhakti I am understood, standing before you, and can thus be seen directly. Only in this way can you enter into the mysteries of my understanding. So that's what I'm saying. Priti purvakam, loving devotional attitude, but cognition, pramana, scriptural evidence, these prepare us for this undivided devotional service. That means nishtha, right? We know. Anatha nivritti nishtha. You know, Rupa Goswami, you are all experienced devotees. Nishtha means fixed. That is the start of Vaishnavism. Before that, Prakrita Bhakta. Prakrita Bhakta is still mixed up with Anatha. He doesn't quite understand Siddhanta. So that's why Siddhanta is so important. But the advanced devotee, or more advanced, is Nishtha. What does Nishtha mean? Here it says, undivided bhakti. That means it's not off and on. It is a vishaya in Sanskrit, it's called. He is the object of attainment. I am fixed. Why? Because Krishna is Krishna. I've now subdued through Siddhanta and a little tapasya and theistic conduct, I have subdued my attraction to the material world. So now I'm able to be fixed. That is the beginning of Madhyama Adhikari. And that is the beginning of being a Vaishnava. Because then you are able to actually get some rasa. You're actually able to feel the presence of Krishna in the heart. You're seeing Krishna in the heart of all living entities. And you're thinking, wow, this is a wonderful realization that I'm entering into. And so then everything else fades away. I don't want to be a racing car driver. I don't want to go bungee jumping. I don't want to be a master at skiing or something. I want to realize Krishna more, because the feeling that I'm getting is different from anything I've ever felt before. This is the higher taste, the presence of Krishna. It is the beginning of understanding Krishna and being attracted in the real sense, because one is getting the rasa. So one gives up the low rasa, right? So Krishna is undivided. That means the Vaishnava. He's not, oh, I'll go to the temple, it's Friday. On Saturday I'll go to the disco. No, that is divided. He is dedicated. So we take shelter of sadhu sangha and we study shastra, cognition and service to Guru's order, and then this all wakes up. It is there in the heart. Arjuna, he who engages in my pure devotional service, no distraction, free from contamination of fruitive activities, is not now thinking, oh, I will do bhakti and my business will do better. Fruitive desire. And mental speculation. That means, well, maybe Krishna's God, maybe I'm God, maybe we're all God. I don't know about this. Speculating, because the realization is less. He who works for me and makes me the supreme goal of his life, and here's a very important point, this is the sadhu, and who is friendly to every living being, he certainly comes to me. That is the friendly to all living beings. So then that leads on, right? The Virat Rupa is gone now to 4-arm form, 2-arm form, and Kṛṣṇa says, now if you really want to understand me, Arjuna, and he's telling us you have to practice pure bhakti. And now this is pure bhakti. So devotional service, we will find here in this chapter, we won't get into it right now, the different levels. The first level is, Kṛṣṇa tells Arjuna, he says, those that are always thinking of me with love and affection, they are the highest. If you can't do that, then follow the rules and regulations of bhakti. If you can't do that, then work for me. If you can't do that, then cultivate knowledge. But better than just knowledge is meditation, because in that way you can get in touch with me. So actually I did just tell you those stages there. But, so the main thing is the mano. Oh Kṛṣṇa, I always think of you because in my heart I have priti, I have affection. So, but before we get into that bhakti, Kṛṣṇa clears up this main point. Arjuna inquired, which are considered to be more perfect? Those who are properly engaged in your devotional service, which you've just told me about, Kṛṣṇa, how to be undivided devotee, or those who worship the impersonal Brahman, the unmanifested, right? So Lord Chaitanya, he met with the Mayavadi sannyasis, headed by Prakashananda Saraswati. Where was that? That was in Benares, was it? I think in Allahabad. Yeah, Benares, Allahabad. So they are attached to the impersonal Brahman. So Lord Chaitanya had a very good preaching tactic. He displayed the Brahman effulgence. He displayed that I am the source of the Brahman effulgence. Because that is a discussion in Vedic society sometimes, which is higher. The impersonal Brahman, the inconceivable, the limitless, nirvisesha, without variety, or the personal form, which is higher. Oh, the personal form is like me. I have trouble. My wife doesn't obey me. She's not a good cook. The children steal money when I'm asleep. Personal form is lower than the Brahman. So we judge with our own perspective, our own point of view. And we think, the Brahman is free of variety, detached. That must be the highest form. But that is not listening, mahajayena gatasvapantha. That is not listening to the sadhus, because the sadhus explain that the personal form, Kṛṣṇa, in Golok Vrindavan, like we say, is the source of unlimited pure pastimes. He's not conditioned soul in this material world. His pastimes are to be understood in their way, on their own standard, not compared to the material world. We're suffering in the material world with material body and conflict and taxation and this problem, that problem. So we think personal form, if we mental speculation, remember Kṛṣṇa just said, free from karmic desire and mental speculation. So then we may think, oh, impersonal is higher, because it is something special. But no, like it says in beginning of Bhagavatam, Vedanta Tat, right? You know that sloka? Those that know the absolute truth know it is Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. So they're all non-different. This point will come in sloka 3. They're all non-different, but they also have different, it is variety, ajincha bheda bheda. So the Brahman is the personal effulgence of Kṛṣṇa. It is the personal infant, but sometimes it's taken as impersonal because it is just light. Just like there's light coming from the bulb, but the bulb is the source of the light. So the Brahman effulgence is not independent of Krishna's form, his swarup. It is the effulgence of Kṛṣṇa. So that is described in Ishopanishad. Ishopanishad is a summary of all the Upanishads. There are 108 major Upanishads, and the Ishopanishad is only 18 slokas with one invocation at the beginning. This summarizes everything. So, mantra 15, Haranmayena patrena satyasya pahitam mukam tatvam pushpam apavrinu satyadharmaya dristaye. Oh my Lord. So this is a devotee, he's praying to Kṛṣṇa. You know, that is the secret, praying for mercy. We have those songs, right? Aha, Prabhu Nityananda, Premananda Sukhi. You please make me happy in devotion. Patita Pavana. So we should supplicate the Lord. That is bhakti. O my Lord, sustainer of all that lives, your real face is covered by your dazzling effulgence. Hiranmayena. In the word for word, it means like a golden effulgence. And that's what Mahaprabhu exhibited to Prakasananda Saraswati in Benares. I'm the source. That is there, the effulgence, but it is based on my form. So, your real face, kindly remove that covering and exhibit yourself to your pure devotee. So this is the Shastric conclusion, that the form is the source of that effulgence, and we have to go through that. We're now, we're covered. Just like Arjuna couldn't see the Virat Rupa, the Virat Purusha, he couldn't see the universal form until Kṛṣṇa displayed it by his grace to Arjuna, and also the devotees, many they saw also. So Kṛṣṇa can reveal himself to his pure devotee as he sees fit. But now we're presently covered in this material body, and because these material eyes and material ears, our spiritual perception is dulled down. Just like if you want to go swimming in the ocean, you put on the bathing suit, right? Or a swimsuit. And you take air with you, go down. So it's an artificial thing. You have to equip yourself to go into that environment. The sharks and the fish and the whales, they have no problem. But we have to put on an air tank, go there. And we're suppressed. We cannot feel if the ocean is hot or cold because of the rubber suit and so on and so forth. So this material body covers the soul. So that is a yogic thing. The yogis are very good at this. They know how to withdraw the consciousness, fix it on the spiritual aspect, and commune directly through consciousness. That is a basic principle of yoga. Yes, you can serve with your hands, Kṛṣṇa, and this, but yoga, we should learn this in bhakti. You withdraw from external apparatus of the body, and you find Kṛṣṇa within the heart. Kṛṣṇa is within the heart. And you use your purified consciousness to see Kṛṣṇa in the heart. And therefore the Bhaktivedantas, they told Narada Muni, meditate on the form of Vishnu in the heart. It's there in chapter 13 of the 11th canto, the Uddhava Gita. It is explained there by Kṛṣṇa to Uddhava that you should imagine in your heart an eightfold lotus, and then in the middle of that lotus you should put the feet of Kṛṣṇa, and then you should see the legs of Kṛṣṇa, the limbs, the torso, and then you should see Kṛṣṇa holding the flute. You should see the face of Kṛṣṇa within your heart, and then you should expand that form of Kṛṣṇa to the whole universe. That's in the 13th chapter of Uddhava Gita, 11th canto. You can read it. It's very fascinating. And in that way, you're putting your consciousness on Kṛṣṇa within the heart, not through the senses. So this is yoga. Meditational, kaivalya. Becoming in tune with Kṛṣṇa directly through the consciousness. What does Kṛṣṇa say in the Gita? Arjuna, armed with yoga, stand and fight. That means fix your consciousness on me, then do your duty. So this is what we do, right? When we do puja, bhuta shuddhi, we fix the consciousness on Kṛṣṇa, then we do the puja to Shalagram or Murti or Giriraj. We first, you know puja, don't you? It's pancha anga bhakti. First is abhimanyaya. That means you become purified. You take bath, put tilak, everything. Second stage is upācate. That means you gather all the articles of worship. They can be 1, 3, 5, 10, 16, 32, 64. In Jagannath Puri, they worship with 64. The number one is everything should be done with bhakti. So you first purify, then you gather all the articles that you're going to offer to Shalagram or Murti or Giriraj. Then number 3 is yoga. Before you start the puja, you fix your consciousness on Kṛṣṇa. And then you perform yajna, offering those articles to Kṛṣṇa. It may be just a glass of water with some tulsi. Kṛṣṇa says in the tulsi, it's there in the Shastra, that if you offer a glass of water with tulsi, Kṛṣṇa thinks this is the most wonderful offering. Just so you don't have to be patram pushpam, you don't have to offer half the universe. Just a glass of water with tulsi, with pretty purvakam. So that's number 4 on the Panchanga Bhakti. You know, this good. This is, and then number 5. What is that? That is called śraddhayā. Śraddhayā. After you've done the puja, you can also do this beforehand. Śraddhayā means your own contemplation. Through the chanting, this is when you chant. But before, now you've done seva in bhakti to the murti of Kṛṣṇa, or Shalagram, so on and so forth. Then your own contemplation means that if you are a pure devotee and you're doing theistic conduct, you know pramana, you're friendly to all living entity, then your swarup will wake up. It will wake up. So then, when you're chanting, you chant in that mood. This is raganuga bhakti. Beyond vaidhi, purity, and so on and so forth. Then your raganuga. This means, raga means attachment, anuga, follow. It means you chant with the feeling of following the feeling of the residents of Vrindavan. And their mood is unalloyed, pure bhakti. You don't have to worry so much about your swarup, this and that. Just get the mood of selfless love, like we said at the beginning of the class. Kṛṣṇa, you are the hero. You are the beloved of Radharani, and let me help you and Radharani meet. Let me be a servant of your love. So this is the mood of Vrindavan. Everything in Vrindavan is to accentuate the love between Radha and Kṛṣṇa. That is the highest contemplation. That is the highest, it is called Prem Vaivarta. There is a book by Jagannatha Pandit. He is Satyabhama. Satyabhama is Radharani's expansion in Dwarka. So Jagannatha Pandit, he wrote this book, Prem Bhavata, and it means the transformations of love. The exchanges between Radha and Kṛṣṇa is transformations of prem. So that contemplation of the exchanges of love between Radha and Kṛṣṇa, that is the apex of all meditation. At the beginning of Chaitanya Charitamrita, it explains Radha and Kṛṣṇa are one. But to enjoy the bliss of pastimes, they have separated themselves eternally. And then they are following pastimes, Vipralamba Sambhog, in different varieties. So that contemplation, when Ramananda Roy came to that, because Ramananda Roy gave step-by-step higher understanding in bhakti, and then Mahaprabhu was always saying, go further, go further. So when he got to Radha and Kṛṣṇa, he said, well, and then Mahaprabhu said, go further. And then Ramananda Roy said, there is Prem Vaivarta. Mahaprabhu said, don't speak on that. I can't bear that. That is, so this transformation between Radha and Kṛṣṇa, Mahaprabhu is explaining to us in that way. It is super confidential and it is the highest contemplation. And like I say, the whole creation of material, spiritual, everything ultimately is servant of Prem Vaivarta, the transformations of love between Radha and Kṛṣṇa. So that is the highest aspect of bhakti. And so a devotee who knows Siddhanta, he contemplates this within the heart. Radha and Kṛṣṇa, they are exchanging love in different moods within Vrindavan Dham. That is the highest. And that is the apex of bhakti. And so Kṛṣṇa explains that, right? This is what Kṛṣṇa is saying. Arjuna says, which is more perfect? Kṛṣṇa says, those that fix their mind on my personal form, and I'm just explaining now, this is, of course, Bhagavad Gita, but we should understand what Mahaprabhu taught in the, with discussion with Ramananda Roy, the highest aspect. They are doing the highest meditation. Then number 3 will come, 3 and 4. Those whose minds are attached to the unmanifested impersonal feature, my bodily effulgence. Now, like I said earlier, sometimes people say, oh, that is impersonal feature. But actually it is the personal effulgence. But it doesn't carry the Leela aspect of Kṛṣṇa. So sometimes it is termed impersonal effulgence. But it is actually his personal bodily rays. So it is personal and impersonal according to the way you are looking at it. But ultimately it is personal, because Vasudeva Savam, everything is personal, because it is all Krishna's artistry. The creation, everything, material, spiritual, is the expression. You remember Yad Yad Vibhuti Mat Sattvam Srimad Urjitam Evava. Know, Arjuna, that everything wonderful in this universe, material, spiritual, it is just a spark. It is the spark from me. So Krishna is the greatest artist. So but those now, so impersonal is very interesting. The bodily effulgence, because it is Kṛṣṇa, listen to what Kṛṣṇa says after he says, worship my personal form. But those who fully worship the unmanifested, that's the unmanifested, like I say, we're in this material body, so it's unmanifested to us, avyakta. that which lies beyond the perception of the senses. That means material senses. So the impersonalist, like I say, they withdraw from the senses, they perform tapasya, and they try to perceive the Brahman through their consciousness. The all-pervading, now Kṛṣṇa is describing this Brahman effulgence, Brahmajyoti, the all-pervading, inconceivable, unchanging, fixed, immovable, the impersonal conception of the absolute truth. Now, it's a very good translation. Impersonal conception. It is our conception that it is impersonal. But a bhakta knows that it is the personal effulgence of Kṛṣṇa. Do you see the point? You may have the conception, if you don't have Siddhanta, oh, that is impersonal, so I must become impersonal and detached and enter into that. That is nirvana. No. The impersonal conception of the absolute truth, by controlling the senses, tapasya, and being equally disposed to everyone. Because that is impersonal, then you don't have to be friendly. You don't have to interact. You have to be detached. Like the Buddhistic idea, you must withdraw. Because if you interact with the material world, you will forget the undivided Brahman. No, you must. This is detachment through austerity and controlling emotions. Very difficult, because the soul is emotional. We want love and affection. We want interchange. We want to make jokes with our friends, right? So it's difficult. Being equally disposed to everyone. Now, before Kṛṣṇa says you should, when he's describing bhakti, he said you should be friendly to all living entities, right? But now he says being equally disposed. That means if you're going to go for the impersonal, you should be yes, equally disposed. You shouldn't. You understand? So the Mayavadis, they practice that kind of conception. And the Buddhists even more, if they know what Buddhism is. Such persons engaged in the welfare of all. So then, this is also the thing, like many impersonalist yogis, they open a hospital. Or they do some welfare work. But they don't want to be emotionally involved. They want to control and be tapasya and merge with the impersonal. Then, just after this, now this is the important point. Kṛṣṇa says, engaged in the welfare of all. This is his final point. At last they achieve me. So this is the very important point. That if we want to realize Kṛṣṇa, if we want to praise Kṛṣṇa, we have to be Vaishnava. That means we see everyone as part and parcel of Kṛṣṇa. You understand? So we become friendly and kind-hearted to everyone. And when Kṛṣṇa sees that, then he becomes disposed. Do you see the point? Then they achieve him. We'll finish on the next sloka because it's very good. Of course, all the slokas are good. Kṛṣṇa is very intelligent. Right. For those whose minds are attached to the unmanifested, impersonal feature of the Supreme, advancement is very troublesome. Why? Because you're restraining your emotions. You're trying to see the unvariegated, impersonal. But when you open your eyes, you see all variety. You see people, you see interaction. And you're supposed to do something that is completely different what you're experiencing day by day. To make progress in that discipline, is always difficult for those who are embodied. Because you're in a body. You have to taste, you have to sleep, you have to have friends, you have to interact. So how are you going to be impersonal? Huh? You come back from work and you say to your wife, don't be friendly, leave me alone. I'm meditating in an impersonal way. What's the wife going to think? You're a nut. Go out. I'll talk to your brother. Huh? So it's artificial. So the impersonal sadhus that often perform austerities up in the caves, they worship Lord Shiva, they withdraw from society completely, because that will distract them from the impersonal nature. So it's very difficult. But Kṛṣṇa says, because you're meditating on me in my Brahman form, Brahmajyoti form, you will attain me. You'll become purified. Just like the Buddhists. The Buddhists, they want Nirvana, but they're worshipping Lord Buddha. Nirvana is very boring. Nirvana means no forest of material inducement. But they're worshipping Lord Buddha. So what happens? They develop some bhava for Lord Buddha. Who is Lord Buddha? It's Kṛṣṇa. It's Kṛṣṇa. Huh? So it is a trick. Kṛṣṇa is tricking. But you see, so the Buddhist is atheism, but it's not undisciplined atheism. You see, communism is there's no God. But they're not worshipping Lord Buddha, so there's no God, so that means it's all chemical. So the communists have done terrible things. They, whenever they took over Soviet Union or Cambodia or China, they killed literally millions of people because they're atheists. So nobody, you're just a chemical bottle. It doesn't matter. But that is Kṛṣṇa. Oh, you want to be atheistic and you want to have nirvana? Okay, worship in my Buddha form and be, what do they call in the Buddhist tradition? Bodhisattva. Become a good person. So, okay, you are atheist, but you must become a bodhisattva and you must follow the eightfold path. Right thought, right speech, right contemplation, right samadhi, So their atheism doesn't become like the demon communism idea. It becomes restrained. And they're worshipping Lord Buddha, and then they're getting some rasa in this way. So they're in the route to Kṛṣṇa. You see? So the Veda is very clever like that. Oh, you're impersonalist. Very good. Then worship Pancha Upāsana, right? The 5 deities. In Brahmanism there's one sect. Vishnu, Shiva, Shakti, Ganesh and Surya. Oh, you're impersonalist? Then worship the impersonal in these. Okay, I'm impersonal. I'll worship Shakti. But because I'm worshipping Shakti with an impersonal conception, then I become attracted to Durga. Durga Ma, she's my mother. Lord Shiva is so magnificent. So I'm becoming switched from impersonalism. Do you understand how Kṛṣṇa is catching the Mayavadi, he's catching the atheistic, the voidist, and he's doing a trick. He's bringing them through bhakti, because everyone is a devotee. So if you are worshipping Lord Buddha thinking, I want non-existence, I want nirvana, then you're looking at Buddha in the temple, you're offering incense, and in your heart what happens? You get bhava. Oh, Lord Buddha is so nice. He's sitting there smiling. They have smiling Buddha and everything. Same thing with impersonalism. At last you will attain me. But Kṛṣṇa is giving the right information there to Arjuna. Okay, these things are there for people who they're not ready yet, but you worship me in my personal form. And then in the Uddhava Gita, in the 11th canto, he tells Uddhava, yes, if you want to realize me in the heart of all living entities. That is the best way. Then you become my devotee, going direct from my personal form, and particularly see me expanded in all the living entities. And then you'll get the right, and you'll go back home, back to Godhead in one lifetime. Hare Kṛṣṇa, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Okay, thank you for your kind attention. Any impersonalist? You're all gone. You changed. Any quick question? Okay then. Thank you all. See you next week. Take care now. Remember, be friendly, be sadhu, and then Kṛṣṇa will be very merciful to you. Jai. Srimati Radharani, Vrindavan Dham, Srila Prabhupada.